Good day fellas, today we are going to check out this awesome and simple JavaScript project. We'll go through the entire working and UI of the project first, then we'll check out the system and code of the project. So this project basically generates a random code which is chosen from an array of many codes which is fetched from a code API. The background is, by the way, taken from heropattern.com. The link is provided in the description if you wanna check some more backgrounds like this. And here, the new code button, if we click on it, we can clearly see that a new code has been generated and displayed to us along with the author's name. And if I click at it again, we'll see that again another code has been generated and displayed to us. And also we can see that there is a button with Twitter icon on it, and if we click on it, we can clearly see that a tweet has been composed comprising on the code and its author. So we can basically tweet any code from here by simply clicking on this button. So it's pretty cool, right? Yeah, that's it. So now we'll check out the code and the working. So for the HTML, it's pretty simple. First, we have a main div by the class and ID of code container, inside of which I've separately sorted every single component in discrete divs. For example, here in this code section, there is a div by the class of code text, inside of which the main code will be placed. And if we go down here in this author section, we have a div by the class of code author, inside of which there is a span by the ID of author, and here will the author's name will be placed. And lastly, in this div by the class of btn container, we have placed the two of the buttons that we saw previously. And lastly, we can see that there's a loader, and this loader I've got from W3 Schools. If you're interested, I've provided a link in the description for it. And for the CSS, it's pretty simple vanilla CSS. Nothing special here. It's just to make the project a little more appealing and interesting to look at. And also, I've made this project mobile responsive by using Media Query. And for the JavaScript, we have first assigned constant to the element of the projects that are going to be changed dynamically throughout. Then we'll first go down and look at it, and we can see that although there's a function being called by the name of getCodes. So if we look at it, we can clearly see that it is an asynchronous function by the name of getCodes. Now, an asynchronous function is that it always returns a promise. For example, here we're trying to fetch the code from the URL, but if it fails to do so, it will catch an error which will be displayed, or we can do whatever we want from the error. And also, after successfully getting a response and transferring it into JSON format, we'll have a new code function running here. Now if we check at it, the new code function is generated a random code using math.random from the array of code that we've got from the code API URL. Then in some cases the author's name is unknown, so we'll use these conditionals to write unknown instead of null. And down here, these if conditionals are here because in some codes their text is too long, so we've used these conditionals to make the font size of the long code short so it doesn't break down our code. And lastly, when we've completed it, then we have the event listener, which is embedded within the Twitter button, which on click activates the tweet code function. Now the tweet code function is what enabling us to create a tweet, comprising of the code and its author. So basically I've used these template strings to manipulate this tweet code intent. By the way, the link for it is provided in the description if you want to check it out. And this line of code is specifying that the window should be opened in a separate tab. Lastly, we have the loading and complete functions here. So initially the loader is hidden, but we'll unhide it in this loading function, and we'll hide the code container. And in this complete function, we'll again hide the loader and we'll display the code container. So first, the loading function will be called when the new code is being created, and also when the new code is being fetched here in this getCodes function. And once the code is fetched and the code is generated, then we'll assign the complete function here at last, so that the loader gets hidden and our container will be displayed. So yeah, that was for the loader. The fact that despite coding the loader we cannot really see it is because the JavaScript project is generating and fetching the code so fast that it is hard for us to notice the loader coming and going. With that, I really hope that you like the video and the project. The source code will be provided in the description if you want to check it out by yourself and test this interesting project. And yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. I'll be back with another awesome project. So peace out.